coming up on Sports Night.
Football looks to get back in the win column against a West Coast opponent.
Women's soccer hopes to break a string of draws against a couple Big Ten foes.
And volleyball looks to build on a dominant start to the season.
Braedon, after being roommates for a little over 2 years, we're finally on desk together.
That's absolutely right, Ben. We went from sleeping 6 feet away from each other to sitting even closer on desk tonight.
Very true, but there's no time to be nostalgic. Those days are in the past. Sports Night is forever.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Ben. It's 6:30. It's a Thursday. The cameras are rolling here. You know what that means. It's Sports Night right now. Good evening and welcome to Sports Night. I'm Braedon Olsen, he's Ben Wajerski, and we've got a terrific show for you tonight.
Absolutely, Braedon. This is one of my favorite weeks of the sports calendar. NFL football heating up, Premier League soccer in full swing, and of course, playoff baseball. How are your Cleveland sports doing?
Well, the Guardians got lit up by Detroit today to be eliminated from the playoffs, and the Browns are set to start their 41st quarterback since 1999. But other than that, I'm just dandy, Ben.
Well, there's always next year for your Guardians. Can't do much about your Browns, though. Speaking of the Browns, we start on the gridiron today as Northwestern Football seeks their first conference win of the season. Northwestern Football dragged the Bruins out of their den known as Los Angeles and onto the unknown woods of Evanston last Saturday in a battle for Big Ten survival. And drawing first blood would be the Wildcats in their native habitat, set up by the all-too-familiar stone-to-wild connection. Jack Olsen drills the 33-yarder to put the Cats up 3-0. Celebrating there. In the middle of the second, Caleb Komolafe forgets he's on the turf and dribbles the football. Luckily, he gets the favorable bounce and remembering the assignment, scoring a touchdown. Only one on the day, but a career-high 27 carries for 119 yards. A couple minutes go by, and Preston Stone says, "It's my turn." He finds his favorite target running wild over the middle to push the lead to 2 scores heading into the half. Nico Iamalave and company look for some success in the red zone, but Ore Adea shuts it down for one of his first 2 pass breakups of the year. UCLA settles for 3. Jumping ahead to the 4th, and Iamalave, decides to uncork one from the 30 and finds a soaring Kawazi Gilmer for his 4th passing touchdown of the year. But that wouldn't be enough. They need another, so with 30 seconds left, we'll see if they can get it done. He drops back and looks for number 3 again. Instead, he finds the athletic freak known as Anto Saka in his face for the sack. And from there, it's wraps. Braedon Bruss makes the game-sealing tackle. Northwestern finally secures their first Big Ten victory of the season. All of a sudden, bowl eligibility re-enters the conversation for David Braun and company. In 2 days' time, the Lakeside Field will once again be filled to the rafters as Northwestern welcomes ULM for its final non-conference game of the season.
After going undefeated in its non-conference slate, field hockey kicked off Big Ten action here in Evanston last Friday. The defending national champion Wildcats returned to Lakeside Field on Friday for their Big Ten opener against Indiana. And it's all Ilsa Tromp early in the first quarter. The junior cashes in on a penalty corner to give the Cats the early lead. Fantastic assists from Aaron Chris and Ashley Sessa, and a great set piece for the Cats. Late in the first quarter, and the Cats aren't done. Maddie Zimmer, your 2024 National Player of the Year for a reason, rifles one into the cage with ease to extend the Wildcat advantage. We go to the second quarter now. Zimmer again racing down the field and setting up Olivia Bent-Cole, who pushes the ball perfectly into the stick of Sessa. Sessa fires it past goalie Kai Killian with ease to give Northwestern a 3-0 edge. The junior with a fantastic goal, but she was not done. Less than a minute later, Sessa shows off her fantastic abilities with the stick with an impressively timed deflection. At the half, it's all Cats who continue to dominate every aspect of the match, commanding 4-0 lead. Now a bit slower on the offensive front in the second half for Northwestern, but late in the third quarter, it is none other than Olivia Bent-Cole with the goal. Bent-Cole exploits the defense with a quick spin and a perfectly placed shot. And 5-0 is your final from Evanston. The Cats tie their season high in scoring behind 2 goals and 2 assists from Sessa and a goal and 2 assists from Bent-Cole. Sports Night's very own Matt Campbell has more from Lakeside Field.
The greatest show on AstroTurf has finally returned to Evanston, Illinois, and it did not disappoint. Northwestern improves to a perfect 9-0, taking on Indiana in their Big Ten home opener, playing for the first time at Lakeside Field. Welcome in, I'm Matt Campbell, live after the action to give you the recap of Northwestern's 5-0 victory. There was a lot of action in this one, but most notably, Ashley Sessa, 2 goals. The first game in which she scored a goal since Miami of Ohio, where she also had 2 goals. The leading scorer on this roster had a slow start to the season, but seems like she's coming around, making some major improvements off of penalty corners and things of that nature. Also, Elsa Trump with a goal for the 3rd straight game, her 6th goal in 3 games. She's been sensational throughout the midst of the season, stepping up in that crucial role as Maddie Zimmer almost takes a back seat to this Wildcats offense with the additions of Grace Schultz, Aaron Chris also being very, very good on the attack. Did not score today, however, but that is a name to watch out for. But the biggest name in the field hockey world right now is the redshirt first-year Juliana Bone. Has only allowed 2 goals to start the season. Another shutout today. Leads the save percentage. Coming into today, she was at around the .928 mark. That mark is going to go up after her 3 saves today. Northwestern field hockey is strong all around. It's almost as if this team is a reiteration of last year. A couple of new faces, of course, but same result. The Northwestern Wildcats are a force in the field hockey world to be reckoned with. However, they do have 6 straight ranked matchups following today, starting with Iowa next week. But if there's one thing that we've learned about this team is that this team can fight through adversity. If you want proof of that, go back to the Louisville game in which they had to score 2 goals late in the game to come back in overtime and stay undefeated. But we're talking about the past. I mentioned the future with the Iowa game, but let's stay focused on today. Northwestern 5-0 home opening win over Indiana. A great start to their Big Ten slate, and it gives them momentum for the rest of the year as they look to go back-to-back.
And following their victory over Indiana, the still undefeated Cats will look to reach 10 wins as they face number 10 Iowa this Friday in Iowa City.
When we return, men's soccer hopes to build off its first conference win with a trip out east.
Trying to work my way out of the prison system was the most difficult challenge of my life. It only became tangible once I became a Northwestern student.
One, two, three, four.
My relationship with Giannis is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city. Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
Welcome back to Sports Night. The Chicago Fire just beat Lionel Messi and Inter Miami, and it's got me thinking, Braedon, who's your favorite soccer player?
Well, Ben, I won't lie. Whenever I watch soccer with you, I'm more confused than a goat on AstroTurf. But if I had to pick a player to be my favorite, I'd probably go with Northwestern's own Nigel Prince.
I'm more of a Fritz Volmar guy myself, but to each his own, I guess. Coming off a big home win against Rutgers last week, Prince, Volmar, and co. suited up for a couple of conference matchups. Let's see how they fared. Northwestern men's soccer traveled out to College Park, Maryland on Friday evening for the team's toughest challenge yet, a tie against the number 23 ranked Terrapins. Half an hour into the first half, junior midfielder Leon Cole lines up for a penalty kick. He stares down Northwestern's goalkeeper Jasu Hangai and fires a shot to the bottom left corner. Cole opens up the scoring 1-0. And just about 90 seconds later, senior midfielder Robert Andronika blitzes past Northwestern's back line. He cuts in towards the goal, lines up a tough angle, and fires it home. The Terrapins take a 2-goal lead. But the Wildcats don't lay goose eggs. Sophomore forward Italo Adamandi controls a lofted pass from midfield, and crosses it into the box. Omar Jallo gets it to junior midfielder Peter Reese. He rolls it into the bottom right corner. Northwestern goes into halftime trailing by only 1. Now into the second half, the Wildcat defense needs to tighten up. Hangai blocks the initial header, but Maryland's Saddam Maraziki goes Pele with this bicycle kick. The senior forward adds to his highlight reel and gets the bench fired up. 3-1 Maryland. 13 minutes left in the game. Maryland crosses the ball in on a corner. The ball originally gets deflected, but as it comes back down, Hangai parries it the wrong way. The Cats finish off a tough day with an own goal. All in all, it was a night to forget for the Cats as they fall to the Terrapins 4-1. Northwestern loses its third game of the season, but has an opportunity to bounce back against Washington.
And men's soccer returned to Evanston on Monday, looking to bounce back in conference play against the Washington Huskies. Early in the game, Alejandro Martinez Santamaria dribbling down the left wing. He gets the crossover to Doug Hayner, who hits a volley that's saved by Levi Bieber. Joe Sahetsky connects with the rebound, but his header is cleared off the line by Harrison Berto's heel. This missed opportunity would come back to haunt the Cats later on in this game. Now we got a corner kick for the Huskies. Alex Hall receives the ground pass and launches a ball to the small box. Lo and behold, it's Bertos again. The Washington center back is on the other side of the goal line header this time and puts the West Coast visitors ahead 1-0 entering the halftime break. Now Bieber reads the field and plays the ball quickly. The Huskies are off to the races with a scrambling NU defense. Nick O'Brien speeds downfield, leading the counterattack. Richie Amon follows him on the left wing and receives the pass. Amon shoots but is denied by a sliding Rafael Ponce de Leon. Close call for the Cats with the clock still ticking down. Northwestern still down here with 20 minutes to go in the match. Martinez Santamaria turns and finds Baraka Tarleton. He has a hit from outside the box, but it goes just over. Can't convert the score. And the Cats simply ran out of time in this one. Despite firing off 19 shots, Northwestern is shut out at home and falls 1-0 to Washington. Now losers of 2 straight, the Wildcats will take the rest of the week off before looking to land back in the win column on Tuesday against Evansville in Evanston.
Women's soccer has drawn 3 games on the bounce. A couple of home conference matchups may just be what they need to kickstart their season. Northwestern took on the Buckeyes last week at Martin Stadium in a Big Ten showdown. Getting us started here, Megan Norkett takes her defender inside, weaving past another before sliding the pass to Kira Kemmerly, who shoots from way outside. A nice effort from Northwestern, but Ohio State's Molly Pritchard was all over it. Now we've got an Ohio State corner kick here sent into the box where it is kicked out and fired back for a great Nemaya Nelson save. Well done there from the freshman. Another Ohio State corner kick sent to the middle of the box, and it's headed towards the goal line where Nelson punches it and finally grabs the ball. Scary moment there for the Wildcats. Northwestern corner now, they try a short corner here. And it appears there's a dummy there, and Kennedy Roach fires one at Ohio State that blows right over the bar. Northwestern knocking on the door early in the second half. Northwestern's Roach receives yet another pass from the loose ball. After a couple dribbles, she shoots and Pritchard dives to her left, making the save. Great play from both Pritchard and Northwestern. Ohio State here needs a goal. After some quick passes, the Buckeyes are off and running. A through ball is played to the winger who takes a touch and fires a shot off, and wow, Nelson once again with an amazing save. And this one would end that way in a 0-0 draw after great defensive play from both the teams late on in the match.
And the Cats would then welcome Penn State to Evanston, looking to snap a streak of now 4 consecutive ties and get back in the win column. And it's Northwestern looking to open the scoring in this one. Megan Norkett receives the pass and turns out of the pocket, evading the Nittany Lion defenders and putting one on net, but right into the hands of goalkeeper Mackenzie Gress. Penn State now on the attack. Aubrey Kulpa pushing it downfield, and she finds Amelia White, who slots it past Nyama Nelson for her 3rd goal of the season, putting Penn State up 1-0. First half winding down here. Kelsey Kwan pushing past Penn State's defense and fires it into the box, but sails it wide. Northwestern would go into the locker room down 1 to the Nittany Lions. Now early on in the second half, Penn State with a free kick. Riley Gleason plays it into the box and finds the head of Molly Martin, tucking it into the bottom corner. Penn State now ahead by 2, and they are fired up here. Time winding down for the Cats, but Kennedy Roche brings it within 1 score as she buries the penalty kick into the corner of the net, her team high 4th goal of the year. Northwestern with a corner kick with 30 seconds to play to tie it. The ball sails to an unlikely suspect in the Cats keeper, Nyama Nelson, but her header goes the wrong way and Penn State would gain control. The Nittany Lions take down Northwestern, winning 2-1. The Cats have not won a game since September 4th in a victory over then number 4 TCU. They'll look to replicate that result this Sunday in a home contest against Nebraska. And the Lake Show is nice, but we'll be heading indoors to the Welsh for some Northwestern volleyball right after the break.
My relationship with Giannis is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city. Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
Ready, set, now!
And we're back. Braedon, we're over halfway done with tonight's show. What would you rate our performance so far?
I don't know, Ben. We've been pretty good for the most part, I feel like, but we've had a couple voice cracks, a couple stutters, whatnot. I'd give it like a 6, 7.
Oh, man. Kids got jokes today, huh? Let's just talk about some volleyball.
After losing its Big Ten opener, volleyball looked to right the ship last Sunday at home against Oregon. The Oregon Ducks come into Welsh Ryan Arena Sunday to face off against a Northwestern volleyball squad looking to nab their first conference win. We got some late set 1 action here. Strong serve dug out by Drew Wright. Ball set up for Rylan Reed, who gets the kill. Cats go on to win set 1, 25-22. Now Now, Cats looking to build on their set 1 lead. Early pass to Kayla Kaufman, who spikes onto the floor for a big point. Celebrations are in order in Evanston. Now late in the second set, Cats wanting a 2-0 advantage in the match. Bad dig by the Ducks leads to an easy kill for Kaufman. Cats 1 set away from the dub. Midway point in the third, advantage Oregon, battle at the net. Oregon resets and sets up the point for Sophia Myers. The Ducks would go on to win a tight set, 26-24. Now we got some fourth set volleyball. Oregon receives well, touched over the net and dug out by the Cats. Lauren Carter gets it to Aya El Nadi, who puts some mustard on that point. Tie ball game, and El Nadi and co are fired up. Cats would keep a lead, but not for too long. Easy dig for the Ducks leads to the electric smash for Valentina Valette. Oregon goes on to tie the game at 2 sets apiece. We got a big run at the end of the tiebreak, leading to match point for Northwestern. Nordemir sets up Isabella Burlington, who seals the deal for Northwestern in the 5th set, 15-10. Cats get the win. And the Cats get their first win in Big Ten play, taking down a tough Oregon squad at home. Very inspiring stuff for Tim Nolan's team. And after that hard-fought victory, NU will prepare for another Green Big Ten foe. Michigan State comes to Welsh Ryan Arena this Friday as Northwestern looks to make it 2 in a row.
Late last month, the men's tennis season got underway in Tulsa, Oklahoma at the ITA All-American Championships. After 2 years at Georgia, transfer Cyrus Majub battled in his first action as a Wildcat, dropping a tough opening match to the number 9 seed Soham Porowit from Washington. But Majub bounced back in a big way, dominating his consolation match to capture his first victory wearing the purple and white. The team then split into 2 this past weekend to attend both the Notre Dame Invite in South Bend, Indiana, and the Milwaukee Tennis Classic just up I-95 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, which I'm hearing is probably the best city in the nation. Although results haven't been published for either, the Wildcats will look to build on that momentum as they head to East Lansing, Michigan for the Michigan State Invite beginning this Friday, October 3rd.
And last week, women's tennis kicked off their season at the prestigious ITA All-American Championships in Cary, North Carolina. Both Autumn Rabjohns and Nina Feldman made the trip to represent the Wildcats, but it was Feldman who came out firing in this one. She dominated her first 2 matches in straight sets, including a statement win over the number 10 seed Florentine Deckers from LSU. Though Feldman's run ended in the pre-qualifying 3rd round, her impressive start builds on a red-hot 2025 calendar year, where she now posts an outstanding 14-2 record in collegiate singles. The Wildcats now shift their focus to East Lansing, Michigan for the Michigan State Invite beginning this Friday, October 3rd.
At the beginning of the week, men's golf traveled up Route 41 to Lake Forest, Illinois to participate in the Wyndon Memorial Classic. Taking place at Knollwood Club's golf course, Northwestern took home a 4th place finish out of 16 total teams, headlined by a Daniel Svard 3rd place finish. Svard, the senior, shot 6 under in his first round and finished at 10 under overall, tying for 2nd place in the individual ranks. Outside of Svard, the Cats had one other top 10 individual finisher in sophomore Juan Sullivan, who tied for 8th on the individual leaderboard with a 7 under finish. Another notable performance was that of Isaac Leet, who finished 1 under to set his new season low. Northwestern finished behind the winner, Illinois, as well as New Mexico and Ohio State, but well within the top half of the competition. Men's golf will be back in action on October 19th when they travel to Florida for the Quail Valley College Invitational.
A very literal weekend in Gulf, Illinois, as Northwestern women's golf came out of this week's Windy City Collegiate Classic victorious, their first victory of the 2025-2026 season. After an impressive 13 under par and finishing with a score of 851, the team placed in a title-sharing tie with Duke. Some records shown bright here as Monday's opening round of a 10 under 278 is the team's 9th lowest round in program history. Adriana Lau and Diana Lee were the Cats' top duo as their tie for 6th place with a score of 212 at 4 under par carried Northwestern into the top 10. Megan Mang also had an impressive showing, coming in at 11th with a score of 213. The Cats have 2 weeks off before heading out west to the Stanford Intercollegiate on October 17th.
And here is how you can catch the Cats.
On Friday night, volleyball is back in action against Michigan State.
Football kicks off at 2:30 on Saturday versus ULM.
And on Sunday, women's soccer takes over Martin Stadium for a matchup against Nebraska.
Hang in there, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Plays of the Week when we come back.
I'm Kelly McEvers, founding host of the NPR podcast Embedded.
I'm James Edwards, host of the Unresolved podcast from Frontline. I'm Antonia Cerejido, former senior producer of Anything for Selena podcast and current executive producer at Elias Studios.
My narrative, since I've been locked up and kind of made my transition, has been like redemption, accountability.
When I come into the classroom environment, every individual that sits amongst me takes education seriously.
My relationship with Giannis is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city. Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
Welcome back to Sports Night. Ben, it has been a fantastic, some might even say splendid show tonight, but I'm just about ready to hit the road. My Yom Kippur fast is officially over, so I'm going to go home and I'm going to feast.
Whoa, not so fast there, buddy.
What do you mean? We're all good to go, right?
No, not yet. We've still got plays of the week, and I'm hearing from our executive producer, Sammy Krimstein, that it's a good one. Run it. Plays of the week, and it was a doozy. Lots of fun as fall sports get into full swing.
Number 3, it's field hockey in their home opener. Good passing down the field. They find Sessa, and she nails it. Cats are rolling. They beat Indiana 5-0 and remain number 1 in the land.
And number 2 here, time for some volleyball. Northwestern leading Oregon in set 4. Drew right to serve. And look at this. Tips it right off the net. I couldn't do that if I tried. Northwestern takes down Oregon, and they're making a name for themselves in the Big Ten.
And at number 1, to the gridiron, and Komolafe bobbles it, but he recovers, speeds it into the end zone for a Cats touchdown, and Northwestern's new workhorse back having himself a day. Cats win 17-14. Well, Ben, you were definitely right. That was certainly a thrilling plays of the week. I'm glad I did not head out early today.
Yeah, I'm always right, and I'm glad too, Braedon. It's been a fun edition of Sports Night. Is there anything you want to say to the viewers before we bid farewell?
Well, I will say in classic Cleveland fashion, there's always next week.
You heard it here first, folks. Well, that does it for this edition of Sports Night. Thank you for joining us this evening. For my wonderful co-host, Braedon Olsen, the incredible Matt Schrock, and our entire crew here, I'm Ben Wajerski saying so long from Evanston. Have a great night.